all kinds of races and religions and, and sexuality, because it makes my life whole, more fun. Lover's Lane. I know where Lover's Lane is, Moxie, but what's on Lover's Lane that's so wonderful? Well, there's Lover's Lane. You mean off Greenville Avenue? Are you talking about that? Because I actually lived off there when I was at SMU. I had an apartment over there near the Village. It wasn't in the Village, but it was near the Village over there by Greenville Avenue. So I don't know if that's what you're referring to, but anyway. All right, so I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back. I have to get a drink, and I'll be back in a second. Well, can you guys hear the music or not? Because I can't hear any music playing, but it's saying it's playing it. Tell me if you can or not, okay? Oh, fuck. Now it means I got to talk the rest of the time. Because it's not playing the music. I hate this fucking switchboard. Oh, my God. I'm going to try to play again, but it's not working. It says invalid URI. The URI is empty. I'm going to try to refresh it here. Hold on. Let's see. See, this is why people like Vince the Bay are leaving BTR, because of this bullshit. They don't want to pay for it, which I can understand, I guess. But this only happens to me when I'm actually late at night. So since I can't play any music, let me try one more time. I'll take this phone call. 1 second. Hey, you're on the air.
What's up, baby? This is Pinko.
Hey, I listened to your show before. Cool. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, I've seen your name and in the chat room in my show, and I didn't know you were doing a show, and I just got done. I just went premium, so I did my straight 2 hours, and I was looking around, and so I thought, hey, I'll come over here and see what's going on, and I was so surprised to hear you're from Dallas.
Yeah, born and raised.
And you remember the Village Station and VVV Records.
I absolutely do. VVV was over off of Maple, or it was on the side of something. I think it was Maple and Oak Lawn, I think. Yeah.
Yes, it was called Oak Lawn Records, and it was on Oak Lawn, and that's where the song Uptown Girls Losing You came out of that. American Soviets.
Really?
Cameron Paul got pressed out of there. MC 900 Foot Jesus. I don't know if you remember him.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he worked at that store. I was in the record pool. What was it called? I don't know, Southwest Texas Record Pool or something.
Yeah.
And but I worked all the straight bars like Tijuana Yacht Club, Studebakers. What else? I worked, I don't know, everywhere. You name it. I worked in all of them over there. Penrod's, Papagayo, et cetera.
That's amazing, because it's just really rare. I mean, the weird thing is, I've met so many people. I mean, have you met people on here other than myself from Dallas? I've met so many lately. Have you?
Yeah, I do a political talk show, and there's one guy from Dallas, Sean from Dallas, who's a anarchist like myself, kind of a left libertarian type. And so he's about the only one, but it was so funny when you actually, you recognize. I used to go to a place called the Hot Club. I don't know how old you are, but
okay, I don't remember that. Must be before my time.
Yeah, when I was 18, we were seeing Wendy O. Williams and the Plasmatics, and we were doing the whole slam dance kind of anarchy in the UK kind of stuff, and then we graduated into the dance music.
Right.
Instead of the funk. How is Dallas? You still living there?
Yeah, I've lived here. Like I said, I've lived here. I was born here, raised here, went to school here. I've been here all my life, so I'm still living here. I keep saying I'm going to leave, but I never did.
This is what amazes me. What amazes me is, I mean, I've been gone out of Dallas since '92. I worked at Dallas Alley was my last gig. I was there from '89 to '92.
Oh yeah, that sounds familiar. That sounds so familiar.
Yeah, Dallas Alley. Yeah, downtown, the big
West End. West End,
West
right?
End.
Yeah.
We had 60,000 square feet. We had 9 bars, and I DJ'd in 2 of them. One was the oldie bar and the karaoke bar called Bobby Sox. And the other one was Paragon, and it was built with Bill Stanley. and I was a part-time guy when I did full-time in the other. Anyway, but that was, I mean, so I love Dallas in that way, but being gone from it from 10 years, for 10 or 15 years now, almost 20, when I went back to visit this summer, to visit some friends, I was shocked by the closed-mindedness, by the religious zealotry.
Oh, yeah.
By the conservative mindset. I mean, there's nothing wrong with, like, conserving water if you're running out. There's nothing wrong with conserving food if you're running out. But this whole political mindset of effing retards. I'm like, why are you still there?
George Bush lives 2 miles from me, and I can't.
I know. Oh, are you still down in the Mockingbird area?
Preston Hollow area.
Oh, yeah. Well, nice. That's nice.
And he actually, and I said this on my show before, when he moved in here, there were signs everywhere saying, "Welcome home, George and Laura. Welcome home, George and Laura."
God.
I was like, fuck, I want to leave.
Yeah, I should be out there with Cindy Sheehan saying war criminal. You know?
Exactly.
Come on. So how do you deal with that? Do you just have to stay in your own community and just because I when I was there and I was visiting my friends that I hadn't seen forever, and one of them took me to church at that big church downtown. I was like, okay, I'll go, but the glass stain is, the stained glass is going to crumble, and
Right.
How do you live with that?
Well, I am. The thing about Dallas is that it is, especially as a gay guy, it's very difficult to have any kind of real movement in progressiveness or anything in Dallas, because it is so close-minded here. There are a lot of close-minded people. Now, not everybody's that way, and it also depends on what part of the city you live in. But in this part, it is very conservative. The farther north you go, the more conservative it gets, the farther you get from downtown. And, I just get really sick of it, and there's really nothing I can do except leave. I mean, I fight. Like, what I always say is, I can either stay and fight or I can run away. And so I've chosen, unfortunately, to stay and fight.
All right. Well, that's good. That's good. I lived in North Dallas, Richardson, went to Berkner High School up there, and then I ended up living in Houston, working down there, and going to a school in Austin, and I loved Austin because that was a very, very open-minded liberal society. In fact, we even had a dragworm. I don't know if you know what a dragworm is, but if you're a homeless person and you're hanging out on Guadalupe Avenue, which is the university is butts up against Guadalupe, that's the main drag, and so the homeless people would hit up the rich college students for change in dollars, and a dragworm actually got elected to city council, and he went on to be mayor. So
wow,
yeah. So I love Austin, but my God.
Well, we actually had a mayoral election here a couple years ago, and the two front runners, one was straight and one was gay, and the one that was gay, his name was Ed Oakley. He was very close to winning, but he didn't win, of course, because we're in Dallas. But he was he actually gave the person who won, Tom Leppard, who I don't like, a real run for his money. But that was amazing here that could even happen. Now, Houston has a gay mayor. You probably know that.
Yes, of course.
But here in Dallas is an interesting place because it's weird. It's kind of a mix. It's a mix of people, but most of the people are really just not very interested in caring about anything outside of themselves. I guess because they're conservative. No offense, Moxie. But anyway, and I've said on my show before, that I feel that most conservatives, people who consider themselves true conservatives, really right-wing conservatives, I should say, care more about themselves than everybody else. I think liberal-minded people care more about their community as a whole. Yeah. And Dallas is very conservative, so they don't really give a shit. So
yeah, hey, I voted for Reagan twice. I voted in 1980. I was a Reagan guy twice because I didn't know any better. It was my environment. I grew up and everybody around me, my parents, and liberals are bad, and our unions are bad, and they're tax and spend, and conservatives are good because they're strong on defense. But you start seeing what's really going on. You go, no, I don't think so.
Well, hopefully that's what happens. But most people, that's not what happens. Most people just continue to believe what they were taught.
I still root for the Cowboys, even though they suck.
Yeah, they do suck. They were really good when I was in college. I went to SMU, and they were really good in the 90s. 93 to 97 when I was there.
Oh, you were still back when the death penalty was still screwing
our
your football
school sucked.
team.
Yes, it was still in play then. Yes, our school sucked then. It still sucks now. SMU still sucks, but the Cowboys.
It's a good academic school, though. I mean,
it's a good academic school.
If you want to plug into the capitalism, capitalist kind of institutional kind of job, you know.
Yeah, it's very embarrassing. Which ironically, when I went there, I had to make a decision to go there or to go to USC. I really wanted to go to USC because I figured it was California and it was going to be more open-minded. But I stayed here because my family's here, blah, blah, blah. And I figured I was going to stay in Dallas and just make a life here. Well, yeah, I did stay in Dallas, but I realized by the time I graduated college that I didn't want to play the game of politics and the game of business, blah, blah, blah. So I started my own business. So it really didn't do me any good to go there because it does you do, like you said, it does you good if you want to play that game of politics and go to school.
That inside game. Yeah, absolutely.
Which
I don't want to turn this whole thing into politics because that's what I do on my show. But just out of curiosity, since I've never heard your show before, what is your normal? What are your major themes of your show? What do you normally explore and talk about?
Well, it depends on the show. I have, if you you can go to offlimitsshow.com. You can check out. It makes more sense there. But I have a show that's called Off Limits in the daytime occasionally. Look, I did one today on racism, and I did one on gay marriage, racism, religion. I'm going to do the next one on sexuality. I mean, I'm just doing more interesting, hard-hitting topics. And at night, during the week, I do this show, which is more just kind of fun, talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Kind of free for all, yeah.
Right.
Can I ask your take on the don't ask, don't tell situation?
I did a show actually on that. You can listen to it in my archives if you ever get bored. But I think that I did a show the day before it was repealed. And I, basically thought then what I think now. I think Don't Ask, Don't Tell should have not been in place in the first place. Bill Clinton was the one that did it and put it into place. It was his fault, really. But even though it was a compromise, I understand that. But I think that it was ridiculous. Of course I think it was ridiculous. And I'm glad that it got repealed.
Yeah. It was ridiculous. It was totally ridiculous and really unforgivable, horrible. Civil rights are civil rights. On the other hand, when it came time to when it finally got repealed, I should say, I didn't celebrate.
Yeah.
Because I didn't celebrate because I am more like don't go, don't kill. I am so anti-war. I am so. Look, Dan Choi, I'm not gay, but Dan Choi is cute, and if I was, he's very, very, very cute. On the other hand, he's a murderer. He's a killer. Because
he's killed people because he was in the army, right?
Yeah, and I can't. I don't care. So like in my head, I'm like, no. It's fine that everybody should be treated the same, but I'm not celebrating that.
What you're celebrating isn't that people are going over there and killing each other. I like war. I don't want war. I think it's wrong and stupid, but. What you're celebrating, or what I'm celebrating about it, is that people have the right to do it. Period.
Right,
that's all I'm saying.
No, and I get that, and I'm happy for that, and I really am.
Because, so that's all. To me, it's about that, and that's all it was ever about.
But
people want to send themselves over to get killed, and that's their choice. So.
Yeah, I know it's a terrible choice.
Yeah, I know, but that's their choice.
It's a terrible choice.
Anyway, so. Well, look, thank you for calling in. I appreciate it. It was really good to talk to you. I heard your show before, and I've listened to it. I've never called in, but I've definitely listened to it several times. And it was cool. It's cool that you were from Dallas or been here, so that's cool.
Yeah. I lived there. I graduated high school there, and then lived for several years, and came back and worked there. And but I don't miss it at this point. I really don't. Anyway, hey, thanks for having me on your show. I'm going to kick back and listen to whatever else happens here.
No
Appreciate
problem. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Well, that was Pinko the Bear, everybody. Thank you for calling in. I really appreciate it. What are you talking about, Lady Slugga? Lady Slugga, what are you talking about in the chat room? PD, you're going to get drunk tomorrow night? I'm not going to be on tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's Sunday. I never have a show on Sundays. I only have shows. This show is only on Monday at 1 a.m. through Saturday at 1 a.m. So I never have this show on Sunday. I take that day off. So Sunday's reserved for God, right? No, not quite. I'm not a religious person at all, so no, definitely not.